Yo 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 yo.
Jess Hilarious.
Good morning.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Hump Day.
Good morning. How y'all feel out there? I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Happy to be here. Another day to serve our beautiful listeners. What's going on?
Yes, good morning. It's Wednesday, middle of the week. What up, Jess?
What's up, y'all?
How you feeling?
I'm
Hi.
good. I'm
She
nervous. Shut up. So what? I'm nervous, right? Because both my kids start swim school today.
Okay.
I'm nervous for my baby, though.
What you mean both? Ash don't know how to swim yet? Ash is like 15.
He's 13.
Why you judging?
All right, God damn.
Jesus Christ.
She has a pool.
I know. All right. He just started going under. He just started submerging his head and everything. But yeah, we fixing that now, Envy.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But I'm nervous for my daughter because she's only 9 months. She's going on 10 months, right? And y'all ever seen the videos where the babies are being taught how to swim and they just throwing them in the pool?
Yes.
That's just stupid.
I just don't feel like that's a good way to teach a baby how to swim.
Is that what they're going to do with you?
No, I hope they don't, you know.
How do you teach a child how to swim before you potty train them?
That's what
Well,
I'm just nervous about it.
You got to do it with the parent. I never seen this. Well, like for
Yeah.
our kids, you have to go actually in the pool with the kid,
Yeah.
or with your daughter or son, and they just show them so they get comfortable with the water, so they're not afraid of the water,
Yeah.
and then they go step by step. They start, they'll learn
Yeah,
to kick, they'll learn to float, but it's just they're just
Yeah.
learning the water and understanding the water, not be afraid of the water.
And I don't
at
believe
this
them
age.
videos are real when them people be throwing them little
Oh no, they
babies in
do.
the water.
They do.
You seen that before in
Oh,
real life?
They have to be real. That's not AI.
Well,
They be throwing them.
they need to call Child Protective Service.
That's
They
how
do.
I feel
You don't
every
throw no
time I
baby in the
see
water.
it. Every time I see it. But the baby somehow, like,
Yeah.
they be really swimming to the top and floating and backstroking and everything.
They say it's natural. I wouldn't try that.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't try
Well, they
that.
was swimming for 9 months in water if you actually technically think about it.
So I feel like she should have been learned. Like
So who's getting in with the baby? You or Chris?
Chris
Okay.
gonna get in with the baby. I'm going with Ash, but Ash is a different level. Like Ash is not tadpole.
Well,
type.
Ash could stand up,
Yes,
so
he
you got to
is.
worry
And
about it.
he want to learn how to swim comfortably. You know what I mean? Like he can survive a little bit
All right, well,
for like 5 minutes.
Let me just give you
But-
one tip.
What?
Please make sure the water's heated, because some of those schools don't have heated water, and your kids will never want to go back because it'll be too cold. So when you take your kids to learn how to swim, make sure the pool is heated so that they're comfortable in there, because most of the pools aren't heated.
Oh God.
How the hell is she supposed to do that? She can't control the temperature of the pool.
No, you call an ass. It's a swimming school.
You have a heated pool?
Yeah, it is an actual
Yes,
swimming
you
school.
ask. You ask. Do you have a
Okay.
heated pool? Because kids will. That'll be the first thing that'll deter them from getting back in the
Well,
water.
give her that tip. Say call first. You just say when
That's
you go
what I
there, make
just
sure
said,
it has a heated pool. Like,
Well, you gotta make sure
I
you
don't give a
call.
damn who you are. I don't care if you work for the Breakfast Club. You ain't.
We got a heated
pools
pool.
in
You
here.
got to make sure. All right.
I got you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Jeezy will be joining us today.
Hey.
Come on now. You know, Thug Motivation 101 came out July 26, 2005. So
That's
he's
right.
celebrating 20 years of Thug Motivation 101.
Damn.
And he's going on tour.
That's
Actually,
right.
what he's doing is super fly because it's a tour where you got to wear a tuxedo.
Let
so
him
it's black
explain it
tie.
when he comes. Let him
I want
explain
to tell the people it's a black. That's the whole point of him being
Well,
here.
he gonna tell
It's a
it.
black tie and it's a symphony orchestra, and he'll be here to talk about it this morning.
That's right.
dope.
Yes.
I really think that's really dope.
Absolutely, it's
That's something
grown.
I've never even heard of happening before.
Also, Zohran Kwame Mamdani will be joining us.
Hey, okay.
Now, if you don't know who that is, he is running for mayor of New York City. He is like this. Him and Cuomo are like head to head as far as who's going to represent for the Democratic ticket.
That's right.
Yes, so he'll be here this morning.
Yeah, he was low in the polls and shot up and is doing pretty well in the polls now. I actually think he's leading the polls, so we'll talk to
That's what's up.
talk to him as well. And yeah, so let's get the show cracking. We got front page news coming up, so don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, quick sports game 3 of the 2025 NBA Finals. Tonight, OKC versus the Pacers at 8:30 on ABC. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, how we feeling on a hump day?
Feeling good, girl.
All right, I love to hear it. All right, y'all. So first up on the front page, President Trump is warning against protests on Saturday's military parade here in Washington, D.C. Now, the president touted the upcoming military parade and issued a stern warning while speaking from the Oval Office yesterday afternoon. Let's take a listen to that warning.
We're going to have a fantastic June 14th parade, Flag Day. It's going to be an amazing day. We have tanks, we have planes, we have all sorts of things. And I think it's going to be great. We're going to celebrate our country for a change. For those people that want to protest, they're going to be met with very big force. And I haven't even heard about a protest, but, this is people that hate our country, but they will be met with very heavy force.
You can't tell people to celebrate their country then suppress their First Amendment rights.
Oh,
that's just simple.
all right, yeah. So the parade is set to happen as anti-ICE protests have been happening in Los Angeles, California, and other cities. Now, Saturday's parade is to so-called honor the Army's 250th birthday, which is expected to draw hundreds of thousands of attendees. Now, various security measures have been put in place for the event, including an 18.5 miles of steel fencing, which I was downtown and I was able to see yesterday, and 175 magnetometers, which I believe detects certain devices.
They got Magneto out there? Boy, Trump ain't playing.
But Trump was at North Carolina's Fort Bragg yesterday to help kick off that celebration. He told hundreds of the troops gathered that Saturday is going to be a big day in Washington, D.C. Of course, it's also his birthday. And to your point yesterday, Charlamagne, this is expected to cost about $45 million.
He said he's privately funding it, though.
Yeah, that's
what he said. I don't know.
It's a TBD type of situation, but of course he did praise the troops, calling them the greatest fighting force. Speaking of,
the administration is making enough money that they can pay for it.
Speaking of defense now, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, he testified before members of the House yesterday, and he will be back on the Hill today for more testimony. He faced grilling from Democrats over the deployment of the National Guard to Los Angeles as the city deals with, of course, the anti-ICE protests, including from California Congressman Pete Aguilar, who asked why they deployed the National Guard and Marines. Hegseth, of course, defended President Trump's decision, and they had quite a little bit of an exchange. Let's take a listen.
Every American citizen deserves to live in a community that's safe, and ICE agents need to be able to do their job. They're being attacked for doing their job, which is deporting illegal criminals. He has every authority, and he has done mobilizing National Guard or active duty troops under U.S. code to protect federal agents in their job, which is exactly what we're doing, and we're proud to do it. We're proud to do it.
Yeah, well, proud to do it. So at one point, he recalled the 2020 protests in Minneapolis while answering Minnesota Governor Congresswoman Betty McCollum. Now, Hegseth said Minnesota Governor Tim Walz abandoned a police precinct and let it burn before mobilizing the National Guard when it was too late. Of course, they're talking about on the heels of the George Floyd protests. And Democrats on the subcommittee have also pressed Hegseth for details on where funding is coming from to send these National Guard troops to Los Angeles. So I will keep you guys posted. The conversation does continue at 7, and we will get into more of what's happening with these anti-ICE protests in Los Angeles. So stick around.
All right. Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
I'm dialing. Hey, what you doing, man? I'm dialing. I'm calling you.
This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
How you doing? This is Malachi. I'm born of Columbus, Georgia. I wanted to get it off my chest, but also give myself donkey of the day because I was going on a trip and I forgot to get my passport. I don't got a driver's license with a real ID, so I'm going to have to go back to go get that.
Damn. Where you was going?
This is going to be from Savannah to Dallas-Fort Worth.
Oh.
You don't have an ID? You said you don't have a driver's license either?
Oh, he left his real ID at the crib.
I have a driver's license, just not real ID.
Yeah, you can't, right? You can't fly with just a regular driver's license no more, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I had my passport. I forgot to get my passport as I left.
Well, you gotta get on the next flight. I bet you there's not a lot of flights either.
Oh no, we got time to go back to go get it, but it's turning a 2.5-hour drive to a 5-hour drive.
Got you.
Damn. Sorry for you, brother.
Well, you know what?
No,
I call it divine misdirection. You don't know what God is preventing you from running into this morning.
Mm-hmm. No, I appreciate that, and I appreciate y'all giving the words of wisdom.
All right, brother. Be safe out there.
Have a good one.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning, my family. It's your boy Lovey from the Bronx tapping in.
Lovey, what's up?
What up, Mr. 13 and a half? What's happening?
That's my guy. I want to give Flower Fridays out. I know Father's Day's coming up, and the energy is not here for fathers, so I want to give my Father's Day flowers out to you and Charlamagne. But Envy, I got a question for you. I read your book, and your wife went through complications with her first pregnancy. What gave y'all that energy to keep it pushing with 5 more children? Did you fear for her?
No, I was very fearful. What Love he's talking about when I had Madison, who was 23 years old. She had a fever of like 105. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know if it was infection. They did all types of tests and research and couldn't find anything. I always talk about in the book, there was this one black nurse that prayed over Gia every day. And then after 2-3 days, it just went away. They never knew what it was. I mean, they didn't know if it was an instrument. They just didn't know. They had no idea. But, like everything happens, we give it up to God. And, it was one of those things. And I'm an only child, so I'm one of the big families. So 6 kids to me, it's a lot of fun to me. The dogs are busting my ass, though. But I just love my kids, Lovey.
No, it's love. And I want to ask you guys this. Like, I've turned down, like somebody asked me to go speak Sunday. I've turned down gigs on the weekend just to spend that quality time with the children. Do you guys find yourself doing the same thing?
All the time.
Yes.
That's every day.
Yes.
All the time.
And Jess, I want to give you flowers too. I know you're not a follower, but I'm impressed with your reading skills, Jess. You have improved, Jess. I want to give you some flowers for that too. All right, Jess?
Thank you, Lovey. I appreciate that.
Lovey, you have a great Father's Day, man. Keep being a great father.
Jess invested into that Rosetta Stone. That Baltimore Rosetta Stone worked.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I see. I love you guys, man. Have a blessed day.
You too.
Bye.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
It's a new day.
This is your time to get it off your chest.
Wake up.
Whether you're mad or blessed.
It's time to get up and get something.
Call up now. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, Pete, this is Corey.
Hey, Corey, good morning. Get it off your chest.
Yes, I actually wanted to just talk about how 2024 was a rough year for me, and I bounced back to basically self-publishing my own book on June 20th. I have my daughter who's a kid model. I'm managing her career. They try to stop me, DJ Envy, but it ain't work, obviously.
That's right.
For Weather Production NYC is the name of my company that I started, and the name of my book is Life is Just a Dream.
And where you from?
I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised.
Okay, all right. Well, definitely pick up your book. It's on Amazon and all that, right? People can pick up the book. What is the book about?
Basically how I came from uniting my family during the pandemic when we was all locked in. I grew up in a dysfunctional household. My mother and my father never encouraged us to stay united, so this is my way of uniting us all together. And I can say it has worked, and they see what I'm doing, and their family is uniting. I was trying to reach out to Charlamagne, so I know he do stuff like this.
What happened? Do what?
Books. He got a book that's out right now.
Publishing. I know he got a publishing company.
Yes, sir.
Publishing. I sent my info out to him.
Oh, okay. Well, Eddie, get his info. I'll get your email. I'll give you an email to send a proposal to a pitch to or something.
Oh, thank you so much, Charlamagne. Like,
yes,
you don't
sir.
know how much that means to me, man.
Absolutely.
Well, send him your book because his book is done. So just send him the book too, brother.
Okay, I'll just wait for you to give me the info. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna put you on hold.
All right, thank you.
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, this is Sean.
What's up, Sean?
I'm good. I just want to say that, I'm glad that Rock Law, I did an interview with him on the Iron Bound News on Instagram, and he has a nasty attitude. His attitude isn't right. I tried asking him a question. I tried to film him, and he wouldn't let me. He's supposed to represent the people, and he didn't want to answer my question.
What was your question?
I was asking him what did he do for Newark and what did he do for the homeless. He didn't want to answer my question.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Mayor Barack, he swept Newark. He won all 5 awards in Newark yesterday. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he didn't. Of course, he didn't win the New Jersey primary governor race. But
I'm glad he didn't win because his attitude is nasty. I got all right to video him.
Now, Sean, did you have an actual interview with him, or did you just pull up on him on the street?
I pulled up on him and asked him a question. What did he do for Newark?
Well, see, that's you answered your question. You got to make a formal request for an interview with the mayor.
So that's not true. He represents the people.
Yeah, but
if you don't want to represent the people, then
no, that's not true, brother. You being selfish right now because you wouldn't want nobody to roll up on you with a camera.
I thought all right to ask him a question. If you represent the people, you should want me to interview you.
Sure,
if you don't want to represent the people, then
You conflating two things, my brother.
Right.
Now, if you wanted to ask him a question, that's one thing. An interview is another.
That's right.
Now, if you now you as a community.
That is an interview, basically.
No, it's not.
No,
it's
if
not.
you're asking him a question, that's not an interview.
That's two different things.
Interview. I'm interviewing you.
That's two different things, my brother.
Hey, you don't need like to listen to nobody.
That's
so
the
I
problem,
can tell
yeah.
that he probably didn't even want to talk to you because of how you even coming at.
Coming up with excuses for this guy just don't do nothing.
No, my brother, this ain't even about Mayor Baraka.
You always come up with excuses.
This is not about Mayor Baraka.
So he's supposed to be on point anytime to answer the question.
My brother, this is not about Mayor Baraka. This is just about proper etiquette. If I walk up to somebody and I say, hey, can I ask you a question? That's one thing. But
Correct.
if I say, hey, can I interview you? That's another thing. If you just walk up to me with a camera in my face trying to ask me a question, I'm probably not going to answer your question.
Yeah.
But people say,
he's
he's for the people. Yes, he is for the people. But like you said, there's proper etiquette. If you want to interview somebody and ask them a series of questions, there's proper protocol to do so. But if I'm walking down the street and I have primaries and I'm doing whatever I'm doing, I'm rushing, I'm this, that, and the other, I can answer your question, but I can't stop for a 20-minute, a 10-minute, a 7-minute interview.
Forget a 10-minute. I'm not stopping for a 1-minute, 2-minute interview. I'm just talking about from being a public figure.
Right.
Don't walk up on me with no camera asking me no questions.
Yeah.
Now, if you say to me, hey, can I ask you a question? Sure. But if you walk up to me with a camera and talk about, can I ask you a question? I'm going to be like, no, put the camera down. I'm like, why?
Because I don't even know what you want.
But you got trauma anyway.
Forget trauma. That's just proper etiquette. Respect people's boundaries.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Welcome back, Loren.
Good morning, y'all.
No court today. That's not court attire.
There is court today.
Oh, you going?
Yes. Yes, I am going. It's actually later too. Court starts at 12:30 today.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Because last week they wasted everybody's time. Last week, I'm not gonna lie, was a good week for the prosecution. The stuff that they had on the stand last week was just a bunch of garbage.
Well, we're going to talk about court today because they're also really, really, really getting strict about Jane Doe.
So is the same Jane Doe the same girl for the last couple of days, or there's different, like...
No, it's the same girl.
Oh, so the same girl.
Yeah, it's just they've taken their time. The prosecution's taking their time having a conversation with her, and then the defense will come in.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll break that down during the latest with Lauren, so don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club.
Shorty said, that's me, passed out in the back seat.
Oh.
That's what SZA said. Was it a crime or what's happening? She's trying to tell us something?
I got to hear the rest of the lyrics.
Yes.
Oh,
all right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Y'all go ahead.
Well, let's get to the latest with Lauren.
Lauren be coming with straight facts.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you.
The latest with Lauren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
All right, y'all. So we are going to get to the court stuff, but first, there's a few things lingering from the BET Awards, and then we are done. I promise. Now, were any of you guys wondering why Sierra didn't perform with Bow Wow?
Didn't even think about it.
You did?
I did think about it.
Especially when he performed like you. I mean,
Right.
of course, I would have wanted her to do her vocals. Why not?
But then she came
Yeah.
out like 5 minutes later, so I did think about it.
Yes, I think a lot of us there, even in real time, were like, "Oh, she's not gonna take the stage." We thought it was gonna be like a good surprise. People
didn't even.
It spilled over online as well too. Twitter was going a bit crazy, wondering why, and some people was just saying like, "Yo, I love that she's choosing her piece and she ain't getting on stage." But TMZ called Bow Wow out and asked him why Sierra didn't take the stage. Take a listen.
Everybody was wondering why Sia ain't come out for like you.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a real I was gonna put this on myself. When you do the award show, BET is the one that outsources all the talent. So I don't know if she was aware or not, but I didn't even know she was in the building. I've been in my trailer all day. I've been at rehearsal. I had to host a red carpet. But I will say this: it would have been a wonderful moment if she did come out. I know she was in attendance. I didn't know that. I didn't know until I got off the stage and back to my trailer and checked Twitter. But I will say this: Screamfest is coming up, and the next one, me and B2K Stadium.
I would have rather seen Sierra perform by herself.
Anything, right?
Because if I'm not mistaken,
Goodies.
I could be wrong, but I remember back in the day, didn't Sierra debut on 106 in Park? Like the first time we ever saw her perform live?
Something like a
was on 106.
I think so. I
remember something
that
like
as well.
With Jazzy Faye.
That was Jazzy Faye.
Oh, the one she stepped and yeah. But
I don't know if I feel like I remember something like that.
But Like You was probably one of the biggest records on 106 in Park
All
at the
that
time.
stuff, but Goodies, all that stuff.
I felt like
was
Goodies
huge.
was performed.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that would have been dope to see it though.
Yeah.
So according to Wikipedia, so it was the video "Sorry" was premiered on BET's 106 & Park, as well as Vivo. That was with the release of her debut single "Goody." So it was all at the same time. This is according to Wikipedia. But to your point, yes. And when Sierra was there in the media room, we were talking to her, and a bunch of other outlets were talking to her. She was celebrating, I think it's like 21 years, she said, of Goodies, and it just being a huge shine for her. So I think that's why a lot of us were like, no Sierra, like no word at all.
Came out literally 5 minutes
performance
after,
wise though, because she did hit the stage.
I must be the only person that does not when I Bow Wow and Sierra are not synonymous with each other to me.
For that song, I thought so.
I wasn't tripping off her not doing Like You, even though it would have been like it's nostalgic to see. I just thought on stage in general. But also in the BET Awards conversation, Clarissa Shields. So people got a bit upset about some of the tweets that she shot out after she did not win Sportswoman of the Year. She tweeted, "I still don't know how I didn't win Sportswoman of the Year for the BET Awards, but congrats to Angel Reese and all of the other nominees. I just thought accolades mattered." Then she tweeted again, "Let me go on ahead and make up for missing 2 days of grinding at the gym to attend all this BET stuff. I defend my undisputed heavyweight title on July 26th. If and when I win that fight, I'll be the 19-time world champ." Then she had to come back because people started responding and basically saying to her, like, why are you downplaying Angel Reese's win just because you didn't? And she says, "Nobody's saying that Angel Reese doesn't have accolades or that she's not good. I'm just saying that I thought the person with the most, she capitalized most accolades and accomplishments should win the award. I'm team Angel Reese. I'm not joining the hate train when it comes to Angel Reese. I have mad respect for her and all the other female athletes that excel in the sport. As for my earlier comments, I am allowed to express my feelings. I was just shocked I didn't win."
She's talking about like career accolades? I'm confused. Like, what's going on?
Accolades are normally career accolades. What else are accolades?
Well, Angel Reese, if that's the case, you got Simone Biles was in that category, Don Staley, Asia Wilson. Like, it's mad people with career accolades. I don't understand. And isn't that athlete of the year? So it's about what you did in the last 365 days.
Sportswoman of the year.
Yeah. And she would have to understand why people would think she was hating, right? The fact that Angel Reese won and you're talking about accolades, like, that's the first thing people would say. Right?
Yeah, but she does say in that very first tweet, though, like, I'm team Angel Reese. I think she's just speaking up for herself.
But that's why people thought that.
And to be clear with
Clarissa has had a great year, though.
Yes,
she has
100%. And to be clear with the nominees for the BET Award, they're determined in each category, and the voting process happens by Academy members. So, I mean, I don't know exactly what they're looking at. Yeah.
Let's get focused,
and that's all that is. It's just, now it's time to get focused back. Like she said, she's time to get focused back on what she should actually be focused on. That's fun.
Because she need to win on, she will win on July 26th, but, you just got to stay focused because anything can happen in that ring. And the last thing Clarissa Shields needs right now is a loss. Because the internet will have a field day.
Because she's been having a good time doing other stuff?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's fight time. Yeah. I think she'll be focused.
That's honestly the first time I heard her talk about her upcoming fight in a while.
Oh no, she promotes that fight.
Yeah, no, she
like 50 Cent with it. Oh yeah, every time. Every time Clarissa posts something, she promotes that fight.
Okay, because I thought it was smart that she put it in this tweet. Because I thought the same way, but maybe I just don't pay enough attention to that.
Now, if you follow her, she always talk about the fight. Everything goes back to that fight.
Well, I'm wishing her a safe fight and a win because, as y'all said, I think she needed a W too because the trolls love to get her.
Yeah, no matter what.
That's it, and I promise we are done with the BET Awards.
All right, thank you, Miss Loren. Now, when we come back, we got front page news, and then Jeezy will be joining us, so don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake up. You're locked into The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news, some quick sports. Basketball fans, OKC play the Pacers tonight at 8:30 on ABC. It's game 3 right now. The series is tied. What's up, Morgan?
All right, y'all. Let's continue this conversation from 6 a.m. regarding the anti-ICE protests. Now, President Donald Trump, he's warning other cities that anti-ICE protests will be met with equal or greater force than Los Angeles. Now, this comes as demonstrations were seen in New York City, Atlanta, and Chicago yesterday. Speaking from the Oval Office, Trump also warned he could invoke the Insurrection Act in California. The act allows the deployment of U.S. troops to stop domestic unrest. Trump says he wants to liberate Los Angeles. He made those comments while speaking in front of troops at North Carolina's Fort Bragg on Tuesday. Trump said the L.A. anti-ICE protests proved that the once beautiful city has turned into a trash heap. Let's hear more from Trump at Fort Bragg on LA.
The agitators are throwing firebombs, Molotov cocktails, lighting vehicles ablaze. You saw the cars that were burning, mobbing police officers and ICE officers. But they proudly carry the flags of other countries, but they don't carry the American flag. They only burn it. Did you see a lot of the flags being burned?
He went on to call the protesters invaders, violent, and insurrectionists, and he thanked the National Guard and Marines who are being deployed to the city. He also made some really horrible comments. In my opinion, they're horrible, saying that LA is on fire right now. But, this comes on the heels of the LA fires, basically saying that LA is being burned to the ground and that it's on fire. A lot of things are on fire, essentially the same way that it was earlier this year in reference to the wildfires.
I think he should be more specific. Like, you can't just say, you're against protesting because, protesting, you have the right to protest, via the Constitution, your First Amendment. Correct. You have the right to peaceful protest. Like if he's talking about, violence and, insurrectionists, I understand. But then I would also have to question, we had an insurrection on January 6th. Why wasn't the National Guard deployed then?
National Guard definitely should have been called on January 6th. Yeah,
people got actually killed.
Absolutely.
And cops got assaulted. Why wasn't the National Guard deployed on January 6th? Because there's nothing I've seen in LA that looks remotely like January 6th.
Well, that's essentially, let's jump to California Gavin Newsom. That's essentially what he had to say. He criticized President Trump's response to those protests in LA. Last night, Newsom gave a speech saying Trump escalated the situation by sending the National Guard troops and U.S. Marines to deal with the protesters, adding that he overstepped his authority by commandeering the National Guard. Now, Newsom said this is only the beginning, and that California is essentially the first state, so beware. He, issued a warning essentially to the rest of the country. And he also criticized President Trump for selective law and order. Let's take a listen.
California may be first, but it clearly will not end here. Other states are next. Democracy is next. Democracy is under assault before our eyes. This moment we have feared has arrived. And by the way, Trump, he's not opposed to lawlessness and violence as long as it serves him. What more evidence do we need than January 6th?
To your point, Charlamagne.
I don't want to make the same points as Gavin Newsom, though. There's something about Gavin Newsom that just don't sit right with me. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. But I was watching CNN and last night, and I'm watching the LAPD say they can handle the protest. They say it's been 50 arrests and 600 non-lethal rounds fired. They was like, yo, we got this. So why is the National Guard there?
I do have a question. Did Representative Maxine Waters say there was no violence there, or was that fake? Because I seen that clip going out, but I wasn't sure if that was real.
No, I have not seen that clip. I have seen that she has been shut out of facilities that she's been trying to access. I have not seen a clip where she has indicated whether or not the protests have been violent or not. Mm-hmm. But I have seen her being, in a sense, mistreated for what is considered a 80-plus-year-old woman, mm-hmm. Trying to access certain facilities, and that. Well,
there have been violent demonstrations. I mean, the LAPD said that despite violent demonstrations, local police can handle whatever protesters throw at them, and that additional federal help is unnecessary and could become a hindrance. The LAPD said that.
Yeah. So, to your point, LAPD Chief Jim McDonald says anyone not found to be exempt within the Well, they issued a curfew for some of that yesterday. Let's get into Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass comments regarding that curfew, if we can. She's saying a lot of businesses have been affected by graffiti and looting, and those who are responsible will be held accountable. But to your point, it seems as though, or they are indicating, the local authorities in California and LA indicating that they pretty much have a handle on it. Let's take a listen to LA Mayor Karen Bass.
Many businesses have now been affected by or vandalized. Last night there were 23 businesses that were looted, and I think that if you drive through downtown LA, the graffiti is everywhere. If you do not live or work in downtown LA, avoid the area. Law enforcement will arrest individuals who break the curfew, and you will be prosecuted.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of videos and a lot of locals talk about it. A lot of people have said that they live in LA, and they said that the military actually made it worse. And they're saying that a lot of the news has sensationalized a lot of the stuff that they're actually seeing. They're saying they're making it seem like it's the Watts riot, but it's not even close. Like
that's what we've been saying all week.
Yeah.
So what's the point of having 4,000 National Guardsmen there and 700 Marines? Like, what's the point?
Yeah, that. Of course, this does come after to your point, you guys. This all comes as demonstrators were seen throwing objects at dozens of officers guarding the federal buildings. And of course, police responded with flashbangs, tear gas, and non-lethal rounds. Those rubber bullets that we saw impacting that.
And they arrested some people for attempted murder because they were throwing Molotov cocktails, and there was assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. But overall, they said they made, I think, 50 arrests, 50 or 51 arrests or something like that, and they fired 600 non-lethal bullets. More of the story is LAPD said they got it. So there's no need for the National Guard to be there right now.
And if I can just switch gears for something ICE relative, New Jersey U.S. Representative LaMonica McIver is facing federal charges now in connection with an altercation at an ICE detention center in Newark, New Jersey last month. Now, on Tuesday, a grand jury indicted the New Jersey Democrat for forcibly impeding and interfering with federal law enforcement officers. The 3-count indictment comes weeks after the Justice Department filed charges against McIver over the same incident. So again, this is something that, even though LA is dealing with protests, you have your elected officials in Newark being impacted, and then there are protests around the country, and it's all in the name of immigration and anti-ICE. So you guys just be safe out there. But that pretty much wraps up your front page news for today. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on socials at Morgan Media, and for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank you.
Thank
Peace,
you, Morgan.
Morgan.
Now, when we come back, Jeezy will be joining us. It's the 20th anniversary of Thug Motivation 101. And we're going to talk to Jeezy when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Good morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
One of the best to ever do it.
Celebrating the 20th anniversary of Thug Motivation 101. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeezy, welcome.
What up, though? What's happening? Good morning.
How you feeling, brother?
Man, great, man. Better than most. You know what I mean? Great.
I was talking to somebody yesterday. This is the other day. And he was like, yeah, I'm on my way to Jeezy house. I'm like, for what? He was like, I'm opening up for Jeezy. I said, what you mean opening up? There's like Jeezy DJ as a hobby. He just do it to have fun. I said, shut up. He was like, yes.
Yeah.
You started DJing?
Yeah, I used to DJ back in the day when I was, young in the hood. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I hustled up on the DJ set. And I was just going to the hood, just DJ on people's porches. Mm-hmm. That was kind of my thing, but that's how I got into music. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just like, it's like a pastime. But like the great Andre 3000 said, if you can't find the vibe, you got to create it. Mm-hmm. So I just invite dope people over to my crib, you know what I'm saying, curate it. We might do some red wine and Popeye's chicken, and I might throw on the set. And we just get it cracking, man.
That was like he was DJing for real.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
That's interesting. So that's how you've been feeling? Like you haven't been finding a vibe lately, so you've been trying to create one?
Well, I like to travel a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I like to live, but also I like to, like turn people on to what I've learned when I've been around the world. So it's just like different types of music, different types of curation. So it's just dope to have people come over to your house that you trust and just vibe. People get tired of going out, cameras everywhere. It's some very distinguished black people in Atlanta, and they like to really live. So I just like come over to my crib, man. We just hang out. You know what I'm saying? It's dope though.
Right. What type of vibes though? Is it like is it all rap?
No.
That's what I thought. I said, what's he playing? His music? They was like, no. They was like, he played everything.
Yeah, house music, old school. Yeah, it's vibe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got soul. I got a little soul. I got a little something. You should come next time you're tonight. All y'all invited. You know what I'm saying?
She's going to tell about everybody in the house.
No, I'm not.
Whoever in the house, I tell you, promise you, she's going to come to the radio and tell everybody. Listen, 20-year anniversary of one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time.
Yes.
What does it feel like mentally to have to revisit that era?
To be honest with you, it feels like that album was supposed to happen. And even 20 years later, just the obstacles that I had to go through to, get this tour going and everything, it just feels like deja vu. But the consequences are not dire. They're just real life things, and you got to show your adversity. And it feels like, I was just talking to somebody about this other day. It's just like, now Soul Survivor really resonates with me. It makes sense. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a soul survivor now. I'm listening to the words. I'm like, oh, this is me. This is who I am. When I wrote it, it was a record. Now this is my life. And it's just like to be 20, because you got to think, like you think about Pac, and big, you know, what would they have done 20 years in the game? You know what I'm saying? You celebrating All Eyes on Me, Life After Death 20 years later. You know, I don't know. Pac might have been DJing in his basement. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know
right,
what I'm saying? But I'm living life, and I'm going through, you know, one of those stages where, you know, you get to watch the game like I watch the streets. You know what I'm saying? I'm in this world, but I'm not of it. You know what I'm saying? So I get to watch it, but at the same time, I already put my work in, so I get to sit back. But I'm dealing with real stuff now, running companies and doing deals and you know, empowering other people. So it's now I gotta really practice my skills of leadership, but with my catalog behind me, because I can stand on that because it's solid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, you know, I'm Frankie Beverly and Mays out here. I could keep going if I wanted to, but I don't got to.
Do you have survivor's remorse at all? Because
I used to.
You have so many people that you ran into, partners and people that you.
Yeah, I used to, but everybody know me. They know I'm solid. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, my life is about peace, joy, and freedom. And I'm saying that to say a lot of people don't survive the war, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's like I ain't got no reason to go back. Ain't nothing to prove. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to live my life, make sure my people's straight. You know, put as many people as I can put on, and keep just inspiring and involving my culture. Which is why I'm even doing this symphony tour, which is crazy because I think I'm the first one to ever take a symphony around the world to do a tour. You know what I mean? To celebrate. You know, my first debut album, which is about 3-4 times platinum. I ain't checked last time. But
I can't wait to put on
a
tux and a nice watch.
That's
Go
right.
ahead, trap with Thug Motivation 101.
Yeah.
Come on now.
And it's crazy because it's like, you know, the only time I remember putting on a suit is for a funeral or a wedding. This is a celebration. And it's not just about you know, the music. It's about everybody who came along on this journey with me that'll celebrate. Think about where you was 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Where you were 20 years ago and where y'all at now. This is a celebration of that because that music reminds you of that time you was out there grinding, but look what you grinded too. So this is a reason for everybody to put on a suit and a nice black dress and come out and celebrate. And I do want to say this. This is not the opera. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to sit down and cross your legs. This is a party. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you know, shout out to Adam Blackstone. You know, he helped me produce it. D. Hodges he wrote the music. He's actually conducting it. Those brothers are crazy. I brought DJ Drama with me. So you know it's a party. I got DJ Ace with me. It's a celebration. You know what I'm saying?
When you were making this album 20 years ago,
right?
Were you just making songs or were you thinking the future? Were you thinking catalog? Because you look at a lot of people in the industry and their catalog is not strong, right? Their first album, the catalog is not strong. They can't go on tour. Were you thinking about that when you were writing this first album? Or was it just, I'm just trying to get out the hood?
I was just trying to stay alive and free. And I just wanted to be heard. And the reason why that album is so solid is because I put everything in that. You know, I didn't have another shot. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like no label was looking for me. You know what I'm saying? I had spent all this money to build this buzz, and I had this one opportunity. And you got to think, like, I lost my voice. I tore my vocal cords. You know, I had Bell's palsy. Like, all these things happened at one time, and I'm just like, I was humbled. And the album got leaked 4 weeks before it came out. Think about that. I was up against all that, and I'm still, like, praying. You know what I'm saying? And it happened. So when I look back 20 years ago, like, I didn't realize what I was doing, but I know to change the trajectory of my family and our generational wealth and getting my family in a better place, that this is all I had. You know what I'm saying? So I put everything in the album. Trap or Die and this, everything. By the way, I probably, you know, was riding around, you know, still getting it. You know what I'm saying?
That time, right.
Okay, that's interesting.
And the statute of limitations is up, so I want to put that out there, you know.
It's interesting what you said about the record Soul Survivor, because at that point in your life, you had survived to a certain extent, but you didn't feel that way?
No. I mean, you got to think about it. I didn't really even start celebrating life until the recession.
Wow.
Yeah, I was out of it, bro. I was drinking, smoking, living. I'm just holding on, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know. Then I woke up one day, it's like, damn, I'm still free, you know?
So you thought at any moment it could go down?
Oh, yeah. And ain't nothing like that. That's some type of stress you don't even want. You know what I'm saying? Because it's every day. It never stops. And you're always on edge. You living from, you living from a survival mindset. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when I woke up on that day, when I started to work on the recession, that's when I realized what abundance was. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm like, I'm a superstar. You know, I was telling the other day, man, I got in the gym, got myself together. My first show in Boston for the Recession tour, you know, I get the stage and I'm telling the security guard, hey, yo, they throwing stuff at me. We got to get out here and get down. He like, sir, no, they're panties. I'm like, the sex symbol down. I like this. You know what I'm saying?
So crusty and hard was in panties that you didn't realize it was throwing hard objects.
You know, bras and stuff. But I'm like, yo, this is different. Because you got to think, when I was doing shows, when Thug Motivation came out, all the gangsters was in the front. You know what I'm saying? All the hustlers. There wasn't no women. I didn't have any women fans. You know, shout out to the women fans out there. You know what I'm saying?
We're still kicking it with Jeezy, Charlamagne.
Emotionally, do you ever get triggered when you on stage performing some of those records, though?
Yeah. I mean, especially like lately, because I'm so seasoned with it that, you know, everything is like a sermon to me. Some of those songs, especially like 20 years later to see it, because I'm going to be honest, like Soul Survivor hits so different. You know, shout out to Kid Stewart, you know, rest in peace. He made me put that on the album. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing was like, I want to go trap or die, you know, and imagine if I would have listened to that myself and stayed on that trajectory, and then where is that now? Because when I'm doing this Soul Survivor in the arenas and I'm looking at these kids or I'm looking at these people, I'm like, I wonder, do they realize, like, this is who I am? You know what I'm saying? And this is me living my dream, being on the stage, and I'm still getting standing ovations 20 years later. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know nobody else that can say that they're a soul survivor and mean it like that. So yeah, that record means a lot to me. And even Trap or Die, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but you're not sitting on the block with your thing cocked no more.
Nah, but we'll talk about that offline. But
But I was going to ask, does the street mentality actually leave, right? So if you see, I mean, and you've been around Jay, and you've seen his evolution of being always looking over his shoulder to now, when I see him walking in the buildings, it's like free. I don't have to worry about that. Even when I see 50 move, he feels more free. Do you feel that way, or do you feel like I'm always still got it?
I mean, but I still got it because I'm not exempt, but I understand what it is. But, you know, I carry myself with a level of integrity, so it's just like, as long as I feel like it's mutual respect, I don't feel like the need to even have to watch the room. But I will tell you this, I've been on a journey for about like almost 8-9 years now. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you at this point in my life, like, I'm really at peace. Like, I don't worry about the things that I can't control, and that is including people. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just like, everybody know me. I float around my city or any city.
What got you there, though? Because it took you a long time to get there. What got you there?
Work.
Therapy,
work, journaling, meditating, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even going to hold you. Like, it's real. And when you wake up and you start to realize, like, okay, and you can emotionally regulate, and you know who you are, you have nothing to prove, there's no better feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't got to prove anything. And by the way, you can tell, because people are attracted to that, because they can tell that that's how you feel. Peace attracts peace. You know what I'm saying? If you got nervous energy, you're going to attract nervous people. I ain't inviting no nervous people to my house. Watch me DJ. You know that.
I want to go back. He mentioned Jay-Z. Do you remember the moment when Jay-Z told you that album was a classic?
I think when he heard it for the first time, because I played it for him. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he definitely told me, he was like, yo, this one here going to live with you. That's a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that helped me when he told me it was a classic, because, you know, back then, you know, I was a little wild, so that got to, you know, that definitely, you know, made my head a little bigger. So that definitely, you know, like, got to my ego.
Did you ask him to get on Dope Boys Go Crazy?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I remember playing it. So first of all, that record was a record that I heard when I was over somebody else's trap house, and they was playing this Tip mixtape. I think it was Down with the King.
Yeah.
And I was just over there, and I was kicking it, and they was playing it. They asked me to hear it, and I heard him rapping over the Go Crazy beat. And I'm like, damn. I said, who made the beat? It was like Don Cannon. So I left and I called Don Cannon. I was like, yo, I need a beat like that. And then he said, why not use that beat? And I said, okay, what you mean? And he said, Tip didn't buy the beat. He just rapped over it. I was like, bet. Where you at? I'm pull up on you now. You know what I'm saying? Right now. I got the record. I had a meeting in Def Jam. So I flew in. Me and Coach K flew into to New York. We flew back that same night. On the way back, I wrote Go Crazy on the plane. Recorded it that night. I had 3 verses. Def Jam came about 2 weeks later, and we was all in Patchworks, and I played the whole album. And when I got to that song, they was all clapping when it was done. And I was like, yo, by the way, I'm putting Jay-Z on this song. I said, y'all need to work that out. I told L.A. Reid that.
I'm putting Jay-Z on it, but you ain't speak the whole yet.
Right, no. You got to speak it in existence.
All right.
And one day for the BET Awards, I was out in L.A., and Hov called me to his hotel. He's like, yo, come by the hotel. So we sit upstairs in his suite, outside on the patio, smoking cigars, just talking, because we never talked about music. We always talk about life. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, what verse you gonna take off? And I was like, what do you mean? He was talking about Go Crazy. I had 3 verses. And then he said, I'm doing it, by the way. And I was like, take it. You can take them all off if that's what you want to do. I'll stay on the hook. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I'll never forget it. We was at K-Day in New York. in L.A. Okay. And Coach K walk in, like we doing an interview like this. Coach K walk in. He was like, I got it. And I'm like, what? He's like, I got the Jay-Z verse. Mid-interview, I told the guy, I think it's Julio something. I said, Julio, we stopped the interview. I was like, you got to hold up. And I go outside, and I told him to come in the hallway. Coach press play. And I heard that verse.
More than a hustler, I'm the definition of it.
It never
Master
stopped.
Chef, loaded the kitchen cupboard.
I was happy at first, but then I started thinking, damn.
Yeah, he bodied you on. He did. It's okay. Right. He bodied you on that record, but it's okay. That's one of Jay-Z's best verses ever.
Yeah, I was like, damn. Okay, how did this work? I think
how does this work now?
I think I got him back on Seen It All, though. I think so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So we good.
Now, Thug Motivation 101. Is there a record that didn't make the album because of clearance or for whatever reason that you said, damn, I wish that one made the album?
Yeah, it was a bunch of like mixtape stuff that didn't make it. And the thing about it is, like, the album really got pressured out. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the interns who was up there, who was trying to get his beats on the album, or get a beat on the album, I never did anything on his records, and I left my drives at Patchworks. So I guess he got mad and leaked the album 4 weeks before it came out. So now Bell's palsy, vocal cords, all these things happening at once, and now the album's leaked. So now I'm sitting there and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Because now I got to think of the next plan. So I can't go back to the streets, you know what I'm saying? Because now I'm like, damn, like, this is it. And I'll never forget, I went to Patchworks, I caught a lawsuit. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to
read the book.
Right.
Adversity for sales.
Read the book. Right. And actually, it helped me. You know what I'm saying? So, what they say, no weapon, formed against me shall prosper. It helped me because it went to all the bootlegs and it spread it everywhere. And the thing that I had the most anxiety about out of everything was I had to pick a single. Right? And on mixtapes, they pick it for you. So by the time he leaked it and it was already going, I didn't know what I was going with. I was still pushing Trap or Die, the song. And the label called me and Shakir called me. He's like, yo, he's like, yeah, you can shoot Trap or Die if that's what you want to do. We're shooting Soul Survivor. How do you want to shoot the video? Came to Brooklyn, shot the video. Everybody showed up. Hov, Jim Jones, Cameron, you name it. It was crazy. It was festive. And when the video came out, it was gone. And I didn't. And I told, I was telling somebody that I knew Akon from being around the way, because it was like him and Boo. I couldn't tell them apart, right? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't realize he was that big overseas. And I didn't. And this was the first collaboration that I've ever done. So I didn't realize doing a record with somebody that you can actually tap into their fan base too, on a national level or a global level, right? And I ain't know that. So it went from me being able to walk through the airport, you know what I'm saying, 7 a.m. to catch my flight, to like now I'm walking through the airport, everybody, hey, Con and Young G. And I'm like, where you from, brother? Africa, man, we love you. I'm like, oh, man.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it was love. And it was just like, one thing I can say about the boy Con, he's different. You know what I'm saying? Because he's over there. You know, and they love him. You know, I did shows with him in Africa, and I'm like, okay, like, what is going on? Nobody knows who I am. They know who you are. And he was like, you got to be over here a little bit more. And I love that, you know what I'm saying? And we, over the years, he hit me up, over the years, we always stayed locked in. He hit me up the other day. It was like, yo, we #1 on TikTok. I don't even know what that means, but I'm like, yeah, that's it.
What record?
Soul Survivor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We're still kicking it with Jeezy. Jess.
I'm shocked that you didn't know that you was such a sex symbol. I'm really sitting here like, how did you not?
I mean, I didn't know that then. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think, like, back then, what I was doing, I I'm 5'8". I was 260, skiing bad. I wasn't drinking water. My diet was Waffle House and Cristal. You know what I'm saying? I'm partying all day because I didn't know if I was going to be home.
You was built like a snowman for real.
Yeah, I was him. Big
But
snow.
you know now.
Oh, yeah. I get it now. I mean, even on the intellectual level, like, I know that. I can sit down and spar with the best of them. I mean, I know that for a fact.
Oh, yeah, we saw you with Nia Long.
Yeah, shout out to Nia. Shout out to Nia.
And then I was even saying a lot of women in the comments saying, "Oh, after the divorce, man, he looked even better after that."
I received that.
I was saying that, but I know that was like an intense time. You know, last year you going through all of that, even with the custody battle that you did win and everything. Where are things with you and your ex now?
Peace.
That's good.
Yeah, peace, man. I'm all about understanding. I'm all about what's best for everybody.
Yeah.
The greater good. And it just like, I'm just telling you, like, my life, I tell myself this every day, like, man, this is amazing. I don't got no enemies. I ain't got no issues. I don't want no enemies. I don't want no issues. I just want peace. I just want joy. And I just want freedom. I love my freedom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it. Like, you just talk about, I came up here independently. I just called, like, I'm coming to the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got to check in. I ain't got to talk to no label. I ain't got to do nothing. And shout out to Def Jam. Love y'all. But it's just like, freedom and ownership is everything. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're talking art, you're talking culture, you're talking your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've worked hard my whole life. This is the season of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting myself first at all costs. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, my peace is everything. Like, everybody that know me know that. You know what I'm saying? They call me and be like, yeah, bro, like, I love you, but don't call me with nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to ask, how was that? Because you're very private person, but that was so public. Did that irk you at all? Like, everybody in your business talking about you?
Well, I had to come to the realization that I know who I am and that nobody else can't tell me different. So as long as I stayed on the path of integrity and staying true to myself, it wasn't nothing really to worry about, because anybody that know me, like, I mean, I even heard y'all was up here like, I know Jeezy, you know that. But that's because my reputation exceeds me. I'm like, I ain't on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Unless I need to be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. So it's just like, it comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? He who wears the crown. It's just like, people talked about Jesus. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna talk about everybody. Everybody's not gonna like you. Now, if I'm a good person to you and you don't like me, then there's a problem. But if you don't like me because of what you heard or what you think, then I ain't none of my spiritual business. I can't do nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? I can't even convince you because your mind is made up. However, if you know me and we had some type of interaction, I haven't done anything wrong to you, then that says more about you than me. Because now you judging me. There's no judgment here because I'm not perfect by far. But if I haven't done anything to you, then you can't take that position, because the people around me got real love for me, and my friends and my circle. Like, I never felt any type of but the people who wasn't for me, of course, and that did me a solid. Now I ain't got to even worry about cutting you off.
Cut yourself off,
right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Would you ever get married again?
Woo! Hit me up. I'm gonna be all the way honest. I love my freedom.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with anything in the past.
Yeah.
I just love my freedom.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it. I think life partners are amazing. I would think so.
How did you feel when the internet said you was trying to holler at Nia Long by any means necessary?
They wasn't lying. It was not lying.
Right.
You said, really? Don't cheat.
Really?
I don't know.
Hold on.
She said, really?
But what I went was real men. I never cheated. Not like that. No, I don't cheat.
What do you mean not like that?
I'm saying, like, that's low hanging fruit. If I'm locked in, I'm locked in. We ain't got to be married. Like, I'm just not a cheater. That's like, I'm not gonna cheat my friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. That ain't in my blood.
That's real.
But when you say I was trying to holler, yeah, I was. But I had to be respectful because I was still, finalizing. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
It was hard. It was tough. Staying focused.
They gonna link you with everybody now.
Right.
They gonna link you with everybody. I see them link you with Cynthia Bailey the other day when you did that.
No, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that.
They sure did.
We love Cynthia, man. Shout out to Cynthia. That's a homegirl. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Now, the other one?
Yeah. Everything is
I just said the other one.
Okay. He's gonna spin the block.
Would you spin the block on that real quick?
Oh, who?
I mean, on the other one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, everything is finalized. And we good
I'm gonna press
now.
park. I'm gonna hit the park button. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna play about that.
Oh, so you saying we might see her at some of these shows?
I mean, listen. She's invited.
Tour.
She's invited.
I know she has a beautiful black dress. She's definitely invited.
There you go.
Right.
I do want to know what's the deep album cut that you really enjoy performing off Thug Motivation 101.
Man, I mean, listen, bro. I can't get past the intro. You know what I'm saying?
Hit the kitchen lights, cockroaches.
And you gotta wait till you hear this with the symphony.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? With
crazy.
the symphony, and I need everybody to know I'm coming through your city. I'm coming through your town. It's gonna be amazing. One night only, and you got to pull up. And going back to your other question about me reaching back out, I think it's more important for me to reach forward. So shout out to Lisk, who I just partnered with. For my nonprofit space, and shout out to the Urban League of Atlanta, who I reached out with for my Young CEO program, because it's like,
what is Lisk? I know you do that with the Street Dreams Foundation.
Yeah, Lisk is so we got two things going right now. We definitely got the prostate cancer campaign going on. So I had a couple of friends that go through that, so we locked in there. But it's definitely for entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, tech spaces. Just you have it. Like, we showing them how to set up their lives so that they can win. And same thing with the Urban League of Atlanta. Same thing. We got the Young CEO program. You can go on my Instagram, check it out. Anybody from the age of what's the age of 17 to 24. And we set it up. We putting them with mentors, all that. And by the way, like, this is who I am. Like, I love this. And somebody asked me the other day, how do you do both? They're all the same. You know what I'm saying? We still motivate. It's all the same to me. We get to jump on the stage, but then we get to go help some people with prostate cancer. We get to jump on the stage and we get to go help mentor some kids. I love it.
And you saving people. People can live a much longer life if they just go.
Well, and I know I said this last time, but I got to say it again because you saved me, brother. Shout out to Charlamagne for my New York Times best-selling book, Adversity for Sale, because I ran into a situation where I had a issue with the publishing company, and I called Charlamagne. He's like, "Who published your book?" And he put me with somebody, and we went on to sell a New York Times bestseller.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for all the years of motivation with the music, man.
That's right. Yeah. We appreciate you for joining us,
I appreciate you guys.
And where they go to get tickets?
Oh, you go to Jeezy. It's TM101 Live.
TM101live.com. That's
yes,
right.
Sir.
We appreciate you for joining us. Let us know when you go to New York, because we definitely pulling up.
Oh, yeah. And I want to say this before I leave. New York is going to be lit because I'm actually officially closing down the Apollo. I'm doing the last show there until they do the renovation. So they're going to sit down for the rest of the year. Nice. So I will be having an official last show at the Apollo. It's going to be crazy. Look on the website to find out when I'm coming through your city. Shout out to the Breakfast Club. Shout out to you all.
Yeah. Well, there you have it.
Yes, sir.
It's Jeezy. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Yeah.
Now let's get right to the latest with Loren.
Loren be coming with straight facts.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you.
The latest with Loren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
What was the latest?
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
So in this hour, I want to talk a bit about Deion Sanders and send him some love and some healing energy because it has been reported that he is dealing with an unknown health issue. And because of this health issue, he has not attended any of the summer football camps. So per USA Today's Brent Scottenboer, I know I said that wrong. I'm sorry. Sure. Deion Sanders has remained at his estate recently with the unspecified illness as Colorado opened up summer football camps last week in Boulder. So the summer football camps kicked off on June 3rd. Now, Deion Sanders Jr., and this is reportedly because I cannot find this video anywhere, but it is reported via USA Today and Brent that Deion Sanders Jr. was on a live stream where he was asked about his dad. This was Sunday, and he said that his dad was resting at their home in Canyon, Texas, and he was feeling well. And his son also said that Deion Sanders himself will tell us soon enough what he is going through and what he has been through. Now, Deion Sanders did speak out about his health not too long ago. It was May 30th. He was on Say What Needs to Be Said with Asante Samuel. Let's take a listen to that.
I hope you're feeling better. And one thing I wanted to say, have you ever tried to fast before? You ever use fasting?
Yeah, I have, but what I'm dealing with right now is at a whole nother level. It's at a whole nother level. And you know what? Honestly, I've done no media. I've done nothing for how long now? For a minute. So coming on with you is something I ain't been in front of nobody for a minute. You see, on lost 14 pounds. Like I'm coming back, but I needed this, man. I need this exchange.
That energy. Get that energy.
Yeah, because I haven't had the energy. I got Redcon. I endorsed this too. So but I appreciate. I needed this. I needed this interaction.
Sending nothing but healing energy to Prime Time, man.
Absolutely. Shout out to Coach Prime. Hopefully feeling better, man.
Yeah. Yes, hopefully so. And I will say too, Deion Sanders Jr. Because people were wondering too when he was going to go over to the camps, and he said he's waiting for his dad, and then he'll head on over to the camps once his dad is going as well too.
Gotcha.
Now, in other news, Simon Guobadia.
Body in that name. That's what you're doing.
Always. The estranged husband of Portia Williams from Real Housewives of Atlanta has been deported to Nigeria. So y'all remember back in February, he was taken into ICE custody.
Yes.
And it was a big deal because him and Portia have been going back and forth with this whole divorce and all of the things. Well, Simon's business partner, a woman named Tay Savette, told Us Weekly that it went down, and she didn't specify when it happened, but I spoke to a source, shout out to Michelle ATL Elian, who's a big blogger in Atlanta. I spoke to her, who told me it actually happened Friday. They moved him from one location where he was originally detained to Atlanta, and now he's no longer listed in the Homeland Security's ICE system, so he's officially no longer in their custody because he was deported. Now they asked her how he was feeling. She says that he's in good spirits and that he's not mad at Donald Trump. He actually wants to sit down and have a conversation with Donald Trump.
First of all, Nigeria is a beautiful country. Okay, people go to Nigeria to vacation. All right, so there's much worse places he could be deported to.
Very much so.
Right. An El Salvador prison if he wants to visit. Right. Okay, Nigeria.
Jesus.
Ain't he from Nigeria?
Yes.
All right.
He's from Nigeria. I also was told that he has dual citizenship in Dubai as well. But he was saying,
I wonder how that works though. Like when you get deported to another country, are you allowed to just go back and forth?
Deported to your
Dubai?
country? Yeah, he's deported to your country. He's a citizen of Dubai and Nigeria, so he can go back and forth.
Oh, so
he just can't come here.
So he had a choice?
He could have left.
Between Nigeria and Dubai?
I don't know if they gave him the option of where he wanted to go or not, but I did ask that question, and I was told that he can go back and forth between Dubai or anywhere. He just cannot come here, as to what Envy said. But the reason why they asked him about the whole Trump situation is because when he was taken in, he was taken in as a part of the government's huge sweep that was happening, and then they created these shirts trying to help other people who are going through issues with ICE get money for lawyers and all that stuff, but fast forward, people are probably like, well, how does this play into the divorce or what they're going through? So him and Portia, I'm told, are actually going to be in court today, figuring out some things. And he's going to appear in court via Zoom. He was, of course, given permission to, both of them will be via Zoom. They were given permission to do so because of the circumstances, but they're going to be hashing some things out still. He has some stuff he needs to... They got to figure out.
That's going to drive him crazy to see Portia on that Zoom looking good. You know Portia going to be on that Zoom looking good. That's what's going to make him try to get back into the country. Okay?
Crazy.
Right? That's what's going to make him want to be back in the country. Okay.
Well, I was also told that he agreed originally to because remember when Portia was here and on the I don't know if you guys remember when all the things happened. She had been saying that because we were trying to blame her for the reason why he had gotten deported. And from what I was told was that actually he agreed to the deportation order because he didn't want to fight it. He would have been detained for longer. So he just agreed.
That man said,
ain't got no choice. When Trump gave you a march,
he could afford it and he could have stayed there, but he just wanted to just get me out of here.
From what I'm told,
I'm good. Thank you.
From what I'm told, he could have fought it if he could have fought it if he wanted to because he's been in the U.S. for 35 years. My source says he actually has a green card, and they confiscated all of his things, his laptops, his computers, and all these things, trying to find what they alleged were going to be scams. And according to the person I spoke to, they found nothing. So he could have fought it from what I'm presented with, and he decided not to because he would have been sitting longer.
Yeah. Nigerians don't really be doing that no more.
What, trying to stay?
Scamming like they used to. Remember you used to get them emails all the time? I think that's an old stereotype. They ain't doing that.
But like Charlamagne said, he could go to Nigeria, he could go to Dubai. As long as it ain't a prison in El Salvador, he'd be all right.
Yeah. Jess said what? Trying to stay? Like that?
Yeah, I thought he was someone that would be trying to stay over here.
And for all the people that think the country is trending downward, there's people looking for places to go. You know? He in Nigeria.
Well, we'll be back with some more on this because in their Zoom call today, they're going to be having a conversation about the prenup and enforcement of the prenup. So
I know Portia going to be on there looking like an ice cream sandwich. I'm telling you, he's on purpose too. Watch. She going to be on there looking her absolute best.
Yeah,
and he going to be trying to swim his way back over here.
So she has everything because he's not here. She got the cars, she got the crib, he got everything.
Well,
in the house
remember when she was here, she said that she still wasn't allowed to film in the house, and there's still a lot of things. But there's still a lot of things legally in place that she has to abide by because of what they're going through. So they're gonna be hashing it out these next couple of days, and I'll be bringing you guys some more.
I mean, it's not like he can take the house to Nigeria.
I asked that. I said, well, why don't he just give her the house? He can't even come back to the house.
Yeah, unless he want to sell it.
How you know you're gonna be like swimming to get back? Remember, they was done with each other. They was being petty to each other. He was like, nah, like
I don't believe him.
Got rid of a headache.
Unless he want to sell the house, he might need the money. I don't know. I'm just saying,
I don't know his money situation.
We'll find out the prenup, I'm sure, today. What's happening, what's in it today.
Rich ass don't need nah.
But I think when you get deported, I'm just talking. I don't know. I was about to say, I thought when you get deported, they freeze your assets and everything. They don't do all that?
It depends on the reason you get deported.
Simon Guobadia.
Yeah, if you do something illegally, then I'm sure they do that. But if it's just the fact that you overstayed your welcome.
I don't have the answer to that question, but I will have more because I did reach out to his attorney, so I'm just waiting for her to give me a call back. I mean, we got a lot of legal questions, and I'm not an attorney, so I want to know.
All right, well, thank you so much for the latest with Loren.
You're welcome.
Now, when we come back, Charlamagne, who you giving your donkey to?
Man, 4 after the hour, we need hitmaker Young Berg to come to the front of the congregation.
I know that's right.
I saw him in conversation with Loren LoRosa recently, and we got to talk about it.
Yes. Wow. All right, we'll get to that next. Yo. Sorry, Loren. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Totally fine.
Wake up. You're locked into the Breakfast Club.
Your execution on the donkey of the day is something to behold.
Is it a read?
He gave me donkey of the day, and I deserve it.
People need to know.
Well, you need to tell them.
I am.
You have the voice. Tell them. Tell them.
It's time for Donkey of the Day.
It's a read, but you're so good at it.
You're trying to be a fake ass Charlamagne. There's only one Charlamagne to go.
Damn, Charlamagne. Who you giving donkey of the day to now?
Well, Sexy Red, donkey of the day for Wednesday, June 11th, goes to hitmaker, Young Berg. You know who I'm talking about. Renowned producer. Okay, I saw an article this morning on a site called Flaunt, and they did a story on him, and the headline was 77 million sold, 9 Grammy nominations, 9 billion streams. So congratulations to that young man. Drop on the clues bombs for Young Berg, hitmaker. He is a super producer in every sense of the word. But as you all know, the donkey of the day does not discriminate. See, this past weekend was BET Awards weekend in L.A. Okay, the Breakfast Club sent our very own Loren LoRosa. LL Cool Bay, she was out there working what we call the media room, okay? I was born in 1978, been doing radio for 27 years, so I'm old enough to remember when it was just called the radio room. Okay, all the different radio stations and radio shows from across the country would be in there interviewing various artists. Well, times have changed. Okay, the landscape has evolved, so now it's radio and podcasts, blog sites, all types of media. So we had Loren LoRosa out there. She interviewed like 30 different people. Yeah, 30 different people within 2 days. And I was catching up on some of the interviews this week. I saw Jermaine Dupri. I saw Sierra. I saw Buju Banton. All great conversations. Drop on the clues bombs for Loren LoRosa. Great job. But it was the interview with Young Berg, hitmaker, that I wish I was present for. See, hitmaker sat down and he was expressing the fact that he believes Diddy should be free. Nothing wrong with that opinion. I'm sure Diddy is praying that there are people on the jury who feel just like hitmaker. Now, none of us are legal experts, but when someone says to me they think Diddy should be free, I ask why. When somebody tells me they think Diddy should be locked up, I also ask why. Because if you make statements like that, they should be rooted in some information about the case. If they are rooted in your own personal feelings, you know, just because No Way Out is your favorite album, that's not a good enough reason. I know you had some great nights on Ciroc. I enjoyed making the band too. You cannot erase what Diddy brought to the world of entertainment and lifestyle, but none of that has any bearing on his case. But let's listen to what hitmaker's reasoning was.
But what is he really guilty of? I don't think he should be in jail.
Why don't you think he should be in jail?
He's just a freaky ass, N-word. He's just a freak. Free him. I ain't gonna lie, free him. I don't approve of nothing that he did or whatever, but I just think that he was just doing some nasty stuff, bro. From what I heard, I might not have all the intel. You got all the intel, but I think he was just high and tripping. Like, that's all it really is. But in my personal opinion, Loren, I think that I don't have enough details, but I honestly think that he should be in these streets.
be in the streets.
He should be at home. He shouldn't be like. I think that if you think about the Epstein and all the other different people, whatever, didn't they get house arrest or something like that?
Hitmaker, you should have stopped that. I don't have all the intel. You said out of your own mouth you didn't have all the details, yet you kept talking. Listen to me. If you ever thought to yourself the opinions you read on social media couldn't possibly exist in real life, then you now have Exhibit A. Okay, Hitmaker gave us all the YouTube lawyer's greatest hits. I don't approve of what he did, but he shouldn't be in prison. He was just freaky. And what about Epstein? What about him? Did Epstein get house arrest? That's the question you asked. The answer is no. Okay? Not for his 2019 federal sex trafficking charges. Okay? He requested release on bail. He offered to wear an ankle monitor and stay posted up at his Manhattan mansion, but the judge denied him. Said he was too big a flight risk and a public danger. These are just simple facts that one can research if they choose to. Once again, you can have your opinion on whether Diddy should be free or not, but if you're going to express that opinion publicly, let it be rooted in something real, some type of factual information. Now, none of what you heard just now is the reason I chose to give Hitmaker Donkey of the Day. Okay, it was this statement he made as him and Loren LoRosa were going back and forth on the Diddy situation in regards to the man who killed George Floyd, Derek Chauvin. Let's listen.
Yo, man, I just think that, it's kind of crazy and it's very, insane what he got going on. But, I've seen, it's people that, the guy on George Floyd's neck, is he in jail? I don't think he was in jail.
What? Play that one more. Just one more time, Red. Play that one more time for me.
Yo, man, I just think that, it's kind of crazy and it's very, insane what he got going on. But, I've seen, it's people that, the guy on George Floyd's neck, is he in jail? I don't think he was in jail.
Damn. Hitmaker said he didn't have much information on the Diddy case. Hitmaker, you don't seem to have much information on anything. Okay, I don't understand how people speak about things they don't know anything about with such confidence. What do you mean is the guy who killed George Floyd in prison? Derek Chauvin got 43 years. Okay, 22 and a half years in state prison for unintentional second-degree murder. I don't even know how it was ruled unintentional, but the sentence exceeded the standard guideline due to Derek's abuse of authority and the cruelty displayed. Then he got sentenced federally to 21 years for violating George Floyd's civil rights, including kneeling on his neck, even after he became unresponsive, and those sentences will run concurrently, adding up to 43 years. Hitmaker, you don't even need to know all those details, but the fact you didn't even know Derek Chauvin, George Floyd's killer, was in prison is exactly the reason why I don't talk to niggas after 5 p.m. Okay? And he said it like we were playing spades and he had 9 in a possible, like he just knew he had a winning hand when he said that. Like he said it like he had the big joker, the little joker, the deuce of diamonds, ace of spades. I mean, is the guy who killed George Floyd in prison? Yes, he is. Okay. Look, if you're going to use the double standard argument, then find some cases that are the equivalent of Sean Combs's. Okay, the former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, who was charged with sex trafficking and interstate prostitution, is a way better example, but that's not the debate. Hitmaker, how you don't know Derek Chauvin is in prison? Okay, seeing police officers going to prison for killing black men is a rarity in this country, so you should know Derek Chauvin was in prison. There was a $27 million civil settlement reached in the George Floyd case, the largest pretrial civil rights settlement in U.S. history. The George Floyd case sparked one of the largest protest movements in U.S. history, but you didn't know the man who killed Derek Chauvin was in prison? Red, you gotta let me hear it again. Just one more time.
Yo, man, I just think that, it's kind of crazy and it's very insane what he got going on. But I've seen it's people that the guy on George Floyd's neck, is he in jail? I don't think he was in jail.
Shh. Nigga, hush. Be quiet. Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. You know how to make hits, but you don't know how to make sense. Okay? I have another name for you now. How about Young Clueless? Or hit Make It Up As He Go. He's got a new album, 808s and Bad Takes, coming soon. please give Young Berg, a.k.a. Hitmaker, a.k.a. Young Clueless, the biggest hee-haw?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm telling you. I'm calling him Young Clueless from now on. Young Clueless and Hit Make It Up As He Go. That is his new name.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today. Now, when we come back, running for mayor of New York City, Zohran Kwame Mamdani. He'll be joining us this morning. He's basically started from the ground up, knocking on doors. He'll break everything all down of how he's very high up in the polls right now. So we'll talk to him next. Don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building. He's running for mayor of New York City. We have Zohran Kwame Mamdani.
Nailed it.
Hey.
Nailed it.
There we go.
That's that.
You gave him a great tutorial right before we started.
Absolutely. And I'll take it.
If you don't know, ask.
That's right. That's what I do.
I was going to say it was off the top of the dome, but...
Now, I did see your video. Before we get into politics, I did see your video. You were a rapper.
You got a bop. You got a bop on your hand.
I was an aspiring rapper.
Aspiring rapper.
Nobody will vote for you based off what I heard in that rap. Okay?
And that's why I'm not a rapper anymore.
Based off the quality of that rap, nobody will vote
You see, to be the mayor, you have to know what you know and know what you don't know.
Got you.
And I learned quickly what I didn't know.
You really wanted to pursue a rap career at one point?
There was a point. I mean, it was at the level. So I was born in Kampala, Uganda, in East Africa. And there was a point where there was a guy I grew up with. He's like my brother. The two of us were rapping together. And I was trying to sell mixtapes on a public bus, which doesn't leave until it fills every single one of the 14 seats. That's how much we were trying.
Wow.
And here I am, because it didn't really work out all that well.
It was kind of like Yin Yang Twins, where they were whispering.
I heard them.
I like the beat.
Was there an inspiration for you, the Yin Yang Twins, the whisper song?
I have to say that was an inspiration for the song I made called Nani.
Yeah.
But I think, for me, it was also a way of just telling the different stories of what I grew up with.
Gotcha.
And especially in Kampala, I'm Ugandan of Indian origin. The guy that I grew up with, his name is Abdul. He is Ugandan by way of South Sudan. It's all these different cultures coming together. We were trying to mix it all in. And then when I was here in New York City, just trying to kind of... The song that I made was a testament to my grandmother.
Gotcha.
And how she's a real badass. And how so often when we talk about our elders, we put them in a box of a nice, gentle person who, is very much constrained in how we imagine them. And I wanted to just be a little more absurd in the celebration of a woman who gave me a sense of the world and was a social worker and should be a little more celebrated.
And disciplined you.
Love that.
And disciplined you.
A few slaps in Jackson Heights hurt nobody.
Yes.
Oh, you got slapped?
In the video,
you got old school discipline.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
In that video.
Yeah.
Not by my grandmother.
So question, in real life, when you do make the pivot to, do what it is you're doing now, do you say to yourself, all right, scrub all that off the internet. We got to get rid of that.
No, because I think that it's about being a real person. I enjoyed that time in my life, and ultimately I actually see a through line between that work and this work in that you're trying to tell a story.
Gotcha.
And, when you're trying to sell a mixtape or you're trying to get somebody's signature to get on the ballot at 6:30 in the morning, at the Broadway stop of the NW in Astoria, it's the same thing where you're asking someone, can I have a moment of your time to tell you about my story or our story? And it also means learning how to deal with rejection very quickly.
Gotcha.
Because once you've tried to be an artist, once you tried to be a rapper, you know what it means to be humbled on a regular basis, right? You know what it means to be the opener to the opener to the opener to the opener to the opener. And I think too often in politics, there's a real sense of self as if people should be excited to see you, when in fact you should be excited to see them, right? We shouldn't be lecturing people as much as we should actually be listening to them.
Right.
And I think that struggling through being an artist, it was very helpful in learning that.
What got you into politics? Because some of your policies that you want and we'll discuss, I don't see happening, but I love it. So let's start how you got into politics at first.
So the first time I knocked on doors was in 2008 for Obama. The first time I knocked on doors in New York City was when I picked up a copy of The Village Voice and I saw that one of my favorite rappers, Heems, had endorsed his childhood friend for city council. And I was like, oh, this guy would be the first South Asian elected official in New York City. His name was Ali Najmi. And so I got on the F train. I went to 169th and I knocked on doors for Ali. And that was the moment where I started to get involved in local politics. I joined a club called the Muslim Democratic Club in New York. And then in 2017, I worked on my first race. That was for a Palestinian Lutheran minister in Bay Ridge called Qadr El Yatim. And that just changed my life because, I moved to this city when I was 7. This is the city I fell in love with, the city where I got my citizenship, where I got married. And yet there was also a point where I knew I was a New Yorker. I didn't know if I had a place in New York City politics. I thought those two things were separate. And then there was this campaign which showed me that there was room for all of us. And you didn't actually have to give up any of yourself to be a part of it. And that inspired me to understand that politics isn't just something that you believe in, it's also something that you do as an active thing. And from there, I kept working on campaigns, and then in 2020, I ran for the state assembly, and now I represent Astoria and Long Island City.
Wow. You know, the USA the USA Today asked a question, and the question is simple. Can an AOC-backed socialist upset Andrew Cuomo in the New York City's mayor race? I want you to answer that question.
There's a short answer, which is yes.
Okay.
And there's a longer answer, which is the fact that New Yorkers are hungry for a different kind of politics. We have seen the same politicians with the same ideas lead us to the same results for decades. And this is in many ways a question of whether we want to go back to the past or whether we want to go to the future. And our campaign is one that sees this city under attack in two ways. An affordability crisis on the inside. We're the most expensive city in the United States of America. 1 in 4 New Yorkers are living in poverty. The rest are living in a permanent state of anxiety about whether they can keep affording this city. And then we're under attack from the outside from a Trump administration that is hell-bent on going after not only New Yorkers, but frankly, democratic cities across the country, like we're seeing in Los Angeles right now. And I am going head-to-head with Andrew Cuomo, a former governor who's the son of a former governor, whose super PAC is funded in large part by the same billionaires who put Donald Trump back in the White House. That's not the kind of person who can stand up to authoritarianism without seeing a reflection of themselves. We need someone who will actually fight both of these crises at the same time, and that's why I believe that I can win, and I'm so excited to have Congressman Ocasio-Cortez's endorsement in doing that.
We're still kicking it with Zohran Kwame Mamdani. He's running for mayor of New York City. If you were the mayor and you see what's going on in L.A., how would you handle that problem? If there was protesters, they were, breaking stuff, looting, smashing police cars, vandalizing things, of course, Trump sending the troops. How would you handle that if you were mayor of New York City and that actually happened here?
I think first and foremost, you call it what it is. It's authoritarianism. This is away from his pregnant wife, Noor, and has since been in an ICE detention facility in Louisiana. It wasn't able to even witness the birth of his first child, Dean. And we have another New York City public high school student named Dylan, who was snatched at a regular check-in at Federal Plaza, is now hundreds of miles away from his mother and his 2 siblings. And this is personal for me because I got my citizenship just blocks from where those arrests are happening. Those blocks used to be my favorite part of New York City. It's where I got my citizenship, where I got married. And those are now the same blocks where, when I took my father for his immigration interview this year, I hugged him so tight because I didn't know if I was going to see him in the afternoon. There are too many New Yorkers who are feeling that. And so I think you call this what it is. You also make clear that Trump is reversing historical precedent in that calling the National Guard is typically something a governor requests of the president. It's not something a president puts on a governor. And Kathy Hochul is someone who, as the governor of our state, has been able to fight Donald Trump and defend a lot of his potential attacks on this state. One of the first things I would do is work with her to make it clear that this has no room in our city. And our police force should not be assisting ICE in what they are conducting. We recently saw arrests where the NYPD was then arresting a pastor and other New Yorkers who were observing ICE arresting migrants coming in for their check-ins. We don't need to be accomplices to authoritarianism. We need to show that there's another way of running this city and this country, and that's who I'm excited to be.
Let me ask you a question, right? Why is Donald Trump the Democrats' boogeyman? Because none of y'all are running against Trump. And to me, the biggest hurdle to the Democratic Party is the Democratic Party. The inaction of the Democratic Party over all of these years is the biggest hurdle for the Democratic Party now.
I don't disagree with you. That's part of my critique of Andrew Cuomo, is that he's the very kind of leadership that helped give rise to Donald Trump. Before Donald Trump was the president of this country, before he was a reality TV show host, he was a real estate developer in New York City. And he was someone who both parties had room for and time for. And I think that our ability to accommodate the very kind of real estate developers that have broken law after law after law is also part of what has given rise to an era of politics with no accountability. I mean, Andrew Cuomo had a video of Donald Trump playing at his own bachelor party. Like, that's the level in which all of this is enmeshed together. And I'm trying to chart a new course with this campaign alongside thousands of New Yorkers for a politics that is clearly distinct from that of Donald Trump. And I think when New Yorkers are shocked at Donald Trump's record of cutting Medicaid, of trying to steal hundreds of millions of dollars from the MTA, of giving tax breaks to billionaires, of hounding the many women who have credibly come forward to accuse him, those are the same things you could say about Andrew Cuomo. We don't need a reflection of that in New York City. We need someone who is the opposite of that. And as a progressive Muslim immigrant who's willing to fight for the things I believe in, that's what makes me Donald Trump's worst nightmare.
But I saw you say that in the debate, you would be Trump's worst nightmare. But once again, why should that matter to anybody voting for you now? Because you're not running against Donald Trump.
No, but you are running against the authoritarianism that he's bringing to this city.
So you think Cuomo's an authoritarian?
No, I think that there's too many commonalities between him and Donald Trump's record. And my point is that you don't want to have a mayor who has to pick up a phone call from someone who cut a $250,000 check to both him and Donald Trump. You want to have a mayor who's willing to fight for the city and have that be the thing that he's ultimately responsible for. And I think to your point, we also have to be honest about how we lost this presidential election. New York is the state that had the largest swing in the country towards Donald Trump, 11.5 points. And it happened far from the caricature of Trump voters. It happened in the hearts of immigrant New York City. I went to Fordham Road in the Bronx. I went to Hillside Avenue in Queens. And when I asked New Yorkers there, almost all of whom were Democrats, who did you vote for and why? Many told me they didn't vote. Many told me they voted for Trump. And they told me they voted for him because they remembered having more money in their pocket 4 years ago for their rent, for their child care, for their groceries, even for their Metro card.
They remember how they feel. Yeah.
And as insincere and ridiculous and horrific as we know Trump's policies to be, that is how people felt. Those are the decisions that they made. And when I asked these same New Yorkers, what would it take to bring you back to the Democratic Party? They said a relentless focus on an economic agenda. I said, what would you say to a candidate running to freeze the rent, make buses fast and free, deliver universal child care? I said, I'd vote for him. And that's when I introduced myself. And that's my point here, is that there are some Democrats like Andrew Cuomo who think that we went too far left in how we ran a campaign. And my point is that we actually betrayed working class voters a long time ago. And it's time to own up to that and finally fulfill the promises that were made decades ago.
Well, that's interesting, right? Because, you say Cuomo and Trump have so many similarities, but Cuomo has been a career Democrat. And that's why I feel like anybody who is going to be the future of the Democratic Party, you do have to throw that old regime under the bus. Because it's not just Cuomo.
But that bus is going to be free.
Sure. but it's not just Cuomo in the Democratic Party. It's a lot of old leadership.
Absolutely.
It's the Chuck Schumers. It's the Bidens. You got to throw all of that under the bus and run it over. And people have to hear you say that. Because I keep hearing y'all, you keep talking about Trump.
No, but
your party has been just as ineffective and just as corrupt in a lot of ways.
Trust me, I hear you. Because I've been critical about the style of leadership that gave rise to Donald Trump. Is also a style of leadership within the Democratic Party. And I think for too long it's been a party that has valued insider politics, pay your dues, the words and advice of consultants over the people that are Democrats themselves. And I do think it's time for a new generation of leadership. Cuomo would be the oldest mayor elected in New York City. I would represent a completely new generation. And I think it's important for that because it's not just about age, it's not just about vision, it's also about what has your record been and who have you been fighting for? And is that distinct enough from what got us here?
Well, if they want to support you, how can they go out and support you?
Well, what I would tell them is come to ZohranForNYC.com. Don't donate to us. We've already raised the maximum we can spend in this campaign, but do give us something more valuable, which is your time. We're building a team of 34,000 people, New Yorkers from all walks of life, knocking on doors, talking to their neighbors. Come on out, canvass. It would be a joy to have you. And I would also say that if the three of you want to come canvass, we'd love to have you as well.
Thank you.
Well, we residents in New Jersey, but...
Oh, come on. So look, just bring that corporate tax rate. Bring that corporate tax rate over from New Jersey.
When's the election?
June 24th. But early voting starts June 14th. And we're confident we can win this, but only with the help of New Yorkers.
Well, good luck.
Thank you so much.
Zohran, Kwame, Mamdani. I appreciate it.
Mamdani. Hit it one more time.
All right. Zohran, Kwame, Mamdani.
There we go.
My goodness. My goodness.
Let's get the polls up. There you go. Wow. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Hi.
All right, let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren be coming with straight facts.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Loren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
What was the latest?
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
So taking y'all to court real quick, R. Kelly is asking to be released. He filed an emergency motion for prison release. He says he's alleging that prison officials teamed up with a man who is a gang leader who has a terminal illness and a plot to kill him. So he is currently in North Carolina serving his 30-year sentence for sex crimes.
In North Carolina?
Yes, he's in North Carolina right now, serving his 30-year sentence for sex crimes. And according to documents that R. Kelly's legal team just filed, they are alleging that there is a man, last name Stein, who is a gang leader, a big gang leader, and that he has provided a sworn statement to them that prison officials offered him his freedom to spend his last days free if he would allegedly kill R. Kelly. Now, the way that this man says that this was supposed to go down is that he was supposed to kill R. Kelly, allegedly, and then he would get charged for it, and then he alleges that prison officials were going to fumble the evidence and ultimately bury the case. They would then allegedly transfer him to another location where he would be allowed to escape and stay free. Now, you might wonder...
That sounds crazy.
It does. It does sound crazy.
That sounds like a Trapped in the Closet series. Okay, R. Kelly wrote that. Right.
Well, you're probably wondering, well, if this is being alleged of the prison officials, why would they want to do all this?
Yeah, why would they want to kill R. Kelly?
So R. Kelly's team is saying that all this is happening because they've been investigating whether R. Kelly's rights were violated throughout the process of his trials, and that they're alleging they recovered some information that they were, and that this information was going to come out. So this is a response allegedly to that. And the information basically, Azriel Clary, who was a big witness for R. Kelly's sentencing, and a woman named LaShonda, who was a big witness in the Chicago case. These two witnesses, according to these documents, and according to R. Kelly's legal team, were flipped on R. Kelly based on this in-house informant. This in-house informant by the government allegedly went to Azriel Clary, went to LaShonda, showed Azriel Clary some communications that R. Kelly, emails, phone calls with another woman outside of Azriel, because y'all know she was dating R. Kelly. Yeah. And they allege that because of the communications that were shown, he then influenced her to be the government's key witness, and then she was put together with this informant, with the woman LaShonda, who then did the same, so that the rights were violated. They allege that the government act like they didn't have anything to do with it, nor did they know what happened, although they allege that R. Kelly's team was told his communications were stolen during the trial. No one knew any details, and now that they know the details, this whole plot has come out. And the guy, his name is Michael Glenn Stein, he says he will take a lie detector test, and he will testify if he has to.
I don't want to be disrespectful. I really don't care. It just sounds like a lot of blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I've tried to get the attorneys on the phone. That's who I was speaking with when I came in here. And I literally said to them, these are some really big claims. It seems like a movie. I would love to speak to someone. And I haven't gotten a call back. But this is what they've alleged in these documents.
And which case is that? Because didn't he have two cases that are running concurrent? So which case is that?
So it's
one
both.
Was 30, one was 20.
He's saying it's both cases.
Both. But he's in North Carolina serving the 30, but both. Because Azriel was a huge witness in one, and LaShonda was a huge witness in Chicago.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, and we real quick, Diddy, because there's a lot that has been happening. I know I haven't actually been in court, but we've been talking about.
That's what I'm interested in. Yeah.
So which part do you want to start with first?
So Jane Doe has been on I guess she's been talking for the last 4 days. She's been on trial for 4 days.
That's not unnormal though.
He's currently paying somebody's rent.
I don't even think Cassie had 4 days.
Yeah, so
he'll be homeless tonight.
There's been a lot that has been said in court. So yes, Jane Doe is still the same Jane Doe that we talked about last on Thursday, Friday, and that's not normal. Like you can ask questions. There's no like they don't have like a time limit. Like they have to be able to present their cases equally and get their questions out.
It seems like them things new though. It seems like it's the same thing that she's been saying for the last 4 days, right?
Well, I think they're. I mean, at this point, they're just again, it's beyond a shadow of a doubt. So just want to add more context, more color to it. But it has come out that she talks about not wanting to do freak offs allegedly, and wanting to be with Diddy herself. Her testimony is very similar to Cassie's, where she's like, I didn't want to do these things, but she alleges that she did it because she was in love, and she alleges that Diddy led her down this path of like drugs and this crazy lifestyle. She did mention that Diddy pays her or was paying her rent
and her attorney, right?
And that she's still currently working with an attorney that Diddy originally got her, allegedly because she was with him at the time that Cassie video dropped, and she alleges that his team was scrambling to figure out an apology or basically what to say, and then following that, after Cassie filed her documents and things of that nature, authority or the government approached her about being a witness or having a conversation, so he got her an attorney.
All the Jane Does have been horrible. All the Jane Does that I've heard, the last 2 Jane Does, they've been horrible.
It's crazy.
Why you said that?
That one that you're talking about right now, she just sounded like a scorned girl, like a scorned girl.
She even said that.
She said that she was, she wanted to be with him in a bigger way, and she felt like she was just used for his sexual exploitation.
Didn't she also say things got a little difficult for them when he started dating Young Miami?
Oh yeah, she said that she would see Young Miami, being taken out by back, basically living the lights off his girlfriend
before Young Miami came along.
And it was difficult for her, even though she alleges Diddy told her in the beginning that he is dealing with multiple women. She says that once she started seeing it was difficult for her, and that they had their patches as well of arguing and different things, but she wanted more from him.
The prosecution should have left it after Capricorn Clock, because now it's just excessive. Can you find him guilty by a reasonable doubt after you listen to the last couple of weeks? I'm not no lawyer. I'm just saying, when you put a little bit of doubt in people's mind, that could have one person in that jury be like, eh.
Now also, does it seem like everybody that Diddy has dated?
That's what you used to call him?
Daddy.
That's what you used to call him,
Does
right?
it seem like
let's stay there for a minute.
that
That's what you used to call him?
has dated, has been involved with these freak offs?
You didn't even say Puff Daddy? You should say Daddy?
Everybody that
his studio was called Daddy's House
has dated. Diddy has dated.
But you came up in New York in a different era when y'all used to call him Daddy. Now tell us more. When you taking the stand?
They used to call him Puff Daddy. They did call him.
Yeah, but you just said Daddy.
I didn't mean Daddy. I meant Diddy.
You meant Daddy.
Yo, you're asking me, were they all involved in freak off?
Yes, that's what it seems like, right?
Father.
Father.
That's what you used to call him, Father Freak.
Father. We've only heard from Cat.
Father Freak. He's Father Freak.
We've only heard from a couple people, Envy, so I can't answer that indefinitely. But the people that we've heard from, they said that, for instance, they brought up Kim Porter, and they said that he treated Kim Porter differently and that things were different. But there have been women that said, Cassie and this woman's story are the same. But I did want to send just a little, PSA to everybody attending the Kendrick Lamar concert June 12th and 13th in Toronto.
Lauren she don't even care about no segues.
Lauren
just
like, what? Because y'all, they wrapping me up, and y'all spend so much time on the fact that Envy calls Diddy Daddy.
I do not call Diddy Daddy. You know what?
You could have just left it. You didn't have to move to the next story so fast.
You talk about yeah.
You want to go back to your daddy?
Latest with Loren. Thank you, Loren. Now let's get to the People's Choice Mix.
I was trying to uplift it and have a little fun.
Jeezy.
I had a lot of fun.
Jeezy was here earlier. Let's play some Jeezy in the mix.
And he's trying to get out because he don't want to talk about daddy no more.
It's the Breakfast Club.
Are you checking out the Breakfast Club?
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. It's still Pride Month.
It is Pride Month, right? And we're going to go on this gay ride for Pride, all right? So I'm repping the girl K1.
She's
an artist. Yeah, she's an artist and she's dope. It's been rumored that she is Kehlani's artist, but I can't find nothing on the internet, no documentation saying that. But I just got put on to her music out of nowhere. I was sitting in the shop getting my hair done, and her music video came on. It's called Worst Behavior, and it was featuring Kehlani. And they gave a main tongue kiss at the end. This was last year.
Really?
It went viral. Yeah, they actually look good together. They look alike a little bit. I think all light-skinned people look alike a little bit. My bad, Envy. But yeah, they look like they could be sister and brother, but they was tonguing down and it looked good. I don't know if they messing with each other. I don't know. I did just see them recently go viral again, being seen out together or whatever at the BET shenanigans or whatever. But yeah, shout out to K1.
Salute to K1.
Shorty got crazy stud energy. Like, yes, Worst Behavior. Go look at that music video. Listen to it. It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Salute to all the studs out there.
Yeah, man.
Nobody ever thinks about y'all during Pride Month.
She looked just like Eli.
Oh, word.
Yeah, it's giving Eli and Drake mixed. She looked good.
Without the beard, of course.
No beard.
Okay, all right.
Straight sexy.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Salute to Jeezy for joining us this morning.
Man, TM 101 live 20th anniversary tour. You can go to tm101live.com to see if they're coming to your city. I'm already telling you I'm going to be in there, okay? Because that is like a grown folks event. He wanted everybody to wear tuxedos.
I know.
Black tie.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And he got a orchestra, a symphony orchestra.
Yes.
With Thug Motivation 101.
That's going to be lit.
Man, come on.
And I know he's going to look good in the suit, but his little bunion's going to be screaming by the third show if he think he's going to be doing this whole tour and some slippery earls. Y'all know that's some church shoes. So, yeah, I can't wait to go and do that. But look, Pittsburgh, this Friday and Saturday, I will be there at the Improv. We got 4 shows, 2 shows on Friday, 2 shows on Saturday. Get your tickets if you have not yet. Buffalo, next week, JessHilariousOfficial.com. Get them tickets. Meet me at Helium. That's next Friday. And next Saturday, we got 4 shows there as well. And then Monday, the day after Father's Day, June 16th, the More Love Foundation presents Dads on the Green Top Golf event in Baltimore City. We're honoring 50 fathers. My husband and I, we have a foundation or whatever, right? And this is going to be our first official event, and it's for Father's Day. So come out and fellowship with other fathers from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's an early happy hour. Drinks, food, giveaways, good music. Baltimore's own DJ Kibi for the vibes. And shout out to Fulton Bank. They will be there teaching guys about financial literacy, specifically about credit. So make sure that you're in the building Monday, June 16th. For all the fathers out there in Baltimore.
All right. And also, I'm going to be out in Atlantic City with Vibes Cartel this weekend. Hey. Vibes Cartel is doing a Father's Day weekend show Saturday. So
that's this weekend?
That's this weekend out there. Yeah. So salute the Vibes Cartel.
Yo, it's so funny. Talking about damn. Like he gonna go. Yeah, right. Yo, he always there.
I was almost there.
All the time. You've been promoting this for like 2 weeks now, right? And he say damn until the day.
Yeah.
Like,
damn, this weekend? Damn. Leave your positive note, man.
Yo, it's hilarious.
Listen, the positive note is simply this, man. The universe is always giving you signs. I need y'all to know that. I don't care if it's every day in your sleep, if you pay attention to your timeline and your conversations you have with people on the radio. Shoot, sometimes if you look up, you'll see them in the clouds, okay, in epiphanies, right? Just pay attention to all the signs that you get and place them together, and you'll notice a pattern. The universe is always communicating with you.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?